In 2023, the Conjuring universe decided we needed more Valak and gave us The Nun 2, a sequel meant to double down on the atmosphere, the dread, and that unsettling presence that made the first film feel so ominous. But does this one actually expand on that, or is it just the same bag of tricks with another coat of gothic paint? What's up everyone, I'm Trap, I love horror, and today we're talking about The Nun 2. Released in 2023, this is another Conjuring film directed by Michael Chaves. This direct follow-up takes place several years after the first Nun movie. Again, this follows Sister Irene as she's roped back into a series of mysterious deaths across Europe. As the trail leads through religious institutions and shadowy locations, it becomes clear that a familiar demonic presence has returned, and it's far from finished. I'll get into all my pros and cons as well as my own personal rating, all spoiler free here, but if you've seen the movie, stick around to the very end. I'll get into a spoiler chat where we can really pry this casket open. But let's get right into it. The good stuff. Again, much like the first Nun movie, the production design and locations really sell this thing. I love the Gothic architecture and the old-style European buildings. It gives off just a naturally creepy vibe. Like the first movie as well, there are a few moments where some decent tension is built in this movie, but like all these Conjuring films, it relies heavily on jump scares, and I'm just burned out on it. You could almost feel the DNA of a better movie wanting to be here. Thaisa Farmiga as Sister Irene once again is awesome. She does a great job. I don't much care for Deborah as a character, but Storm Reed's acting isn't bad either. Maurice this time around gets much more of the spotlight, and at first I was a bit nervous about that because the first movie he was alright, kind of more of a comedic relief, but we get much more character growth and connection with him this time around, and I'm actually happy about that. He kind of makes the movie for me. Instead of him being kind of a comedic, flirting kind of guy, we see some real connection that he has with the kids here, and I think that's just great. But most of all, I have to admit, something very rare happened when I rewatched this movie. I hadn't seen this movie since it came out in 2023, and this is the only Conjuring movie I didn't go to theaters to see because I was just burnt out, lost all hope at this point. And when I first watched it, renting it on Prime, when the credits started rolling, I was honestly pretty pissed off. I don't know what I expected. I thought I wasn't expecting anything. It still managed to bug the hell out of me. It's likely from the burnout of the movies prior to this, but I did not enjoy anything about this movie the first time I watched it. But this time, I actually enjoyed it. Maybe my expectations were in a logical place this time around, but I didn't mind it. I'm not going to go ahead and say I liked the movie, but that's something that rarely happens to me, so kudos. And now, the bad stuff. I've said it more than once, I'll always say it again, this movie just relies on the same predictable jump scares repeatedly. No one's learning any lessons over there. Like I said in the good stuff, there is a few moments where real tension is built, and every time that happens, I start getting excited, and it just ends off with a corny ass jump scare again. Like, come on guys, like there are other approaches you can take here. In comparison to the first movie, it did lose a lot of its dreary, ominous tone. It still has some, but maybe the atmosphere in the first one was just so outstanding that this one pales a bit in comparison. They still nail the period piece and all that, but maybe it's because they're not confined to a single place again. It's kind of like watching Conjuring 1 and 2 and going into 3. It's not necessarily a haunted house movie, it's just they're out on the road, they're on kind of an adventure, and that's cool and all. I don't want them to always do the same thing over and over, but it lost a bit of the feeling that the first one came with. If you've seen any of my videos, you know how I am with child actors, and this movie is packed full of them. I don't think any of them necessarily did a bad job in the acting department, and it's also likely being burnt out from watching all these other Conjuring films leading up to this. But I'm just kind of over it. There's a lot of moments where there's kids bullying one of the other kids, and I get it. I get why it's in there. It's just, I'm just over it, man. So basically, if you're looking for a tension-filled, slow burn dread, or a religious horror with some teeth, this ain't it. So overall, is this a bad movie? No, it's not as offensively bad as I took it the first time around, so I have to give it some credit there. It's just nothing memorable again. Maybe there's a visual or two that might stick with you afterwards, but just another bland sequel. So I didn't hate my time with it or anything this time around, but I can't think of many reasons to revisit it anytime soon. So I'm going to give this movie a 2 out of 5 and leave it at that. But hey, that's just me. What did you guys think of The Nun 2? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to talk about this. If you're new here, welcome. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. It'd really help out this brand new channel. Really appreciate it. All right, that's my spoiler-free take. If you haven't seen the movie, go check it out. You can come on back and we can get deeper into this thing. But there's your warning. So I don't really have too much to add here. I don't want to spend too much time talking about this movie. As an overall, I don't think it's a terrible movie anymore. I think it relies on the same formulaic jump scares that all these movies have been doing, and it's old and I'm tired of it. It provides nothing of weight to me. As far as the story goes, I think it's a decent continuation for Sister Irene, but my biggest gripe is what happened with Father Burke? I mean, he's quickly brought up in one scene, and he is written off so fast. It's hilarious. I obviously don't own this movie, like Annabelle Comes Home. I never wanted to pay the money for it, so I can't show a little clip, but it's literally like, what happened to Father Burke? Oh, he's dead. Cholera. And that's it. Damn. One cool thing I found and almost made me want to rewatch it again was there's a scene where Sister Irene is walking through some alleyways. It leads up into the newspaper stand scene that the trailer blasted. Also, one of the scenes I thought built good tension and then was just ruined by another jump scare. Anyways, you can see the letters of Valak being spelt on the walls behind her and around her in that scene, much like in Conjuring 2, how it's written all throughout the house. I thought that was pretty cool, and I definitely didn't notice it the first time watching this movie. So I'm kind of curious if it happens more throughout the movie. If there is and you know about it, let me know down in the comments. That would be cool to see. But yeah, to be completely honest, I watched this movie again, I think a week ago, as of the time of recording this video, and I'm already struggling to remember moments of the movie. It's that unmemorable. One moment that really sticks out that I did not like was Maurice and the little girl and the lady that he's in love with in this film all at her place or something, and they're drinking wine and dancing, and you're just seeing the, oh, I want my mommy to love this guy so much through the kid's face. And that's basically like the feeling of the entire movie, is this little girl who feels like she has a crush on this guy, but really wants her mom to get with this guy. And it's just little hee moments throughout, and just, ugh. Like, I get it, but not what I like to see in my horror, I guess. So I think I'll just leave off with this. I don't hate the movie. I don't love it. I probably won't rewatch it anytime soon. It just feels kind of bland, and like all of Michael Chaves' entries into this Conjuring universe, except for The Curse of La Llorona, whether you want to consider that part of the franchise or not, or the universe or not, it just looks better than it is, unfortunately. There's some good acting. There's some great visuals and cinematography. The tone, for the most part, is pretty on point. It's just lacking anything memorable or scary or making it worthwhile to revisit. So, just another Conjuring flick. Alright, that's all I got. Again, if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. It would really help me out. And remember, if you keep walking in the dark corridors alone, at this point, that's on you. See you guys next time.